So I said, you're not going to regret this, Ray. Everyone's got 3 mortgages nowadays. I mean, at 10%, I didn't even really bargain with the guy, but, you know.
Christopher.
Mattstopher.
Would a male author describe your breasts as A, small but persistent, B, bountiful but unimaginative, C, stern but not without charm, D, perky and non-judgmental, E, shy but good listeners, F, robust and welcoming, or G, shriveled, dusty to the touch?
What is this from?
That's Emily Murnane on Twitter.
Are these... Oh, thank God. For a moment I thought it was going to be like, these are genuine descriptives.
They
that
might
have been
well
used.
be.
Oh, God. I mean, everyone knows that I describe my breasts as nerdy news, geeky gossip, stuff that's fit to fill your time till we all perish in a great, terrible fire at the Baudelaire mansion.
We're all gonna die!
Don't worry, he'll always be with us in our memories.
As far as I'm concerned, Justin Fletcher has done many great things in his life, but that is the best thing I've ever seen him in, because every time I hear that line in Monkey Dust, I piss myself laughing. It's Big Dumb Cast. I'm Chris. Don't mention the war, Johnson.
And I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it. Watson. No first name.
Hey, do you remember when John Cleese used to, like, not be such a pussy?
Oh, it must come with age.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like watching all your favourite rebel comedians and musicians turning into absolute cunts. It's so bizarre.
Talking about our favourite showing their asses.
No?
So...
Oh. We're going straight in, are we?
This is unsubstantiated.
Oh, okay.
Well, unconfirmed.
Okay.
But this is a news article that went up yesterday on Gizmodo.
Gizmodo, veritable news site. Don't get it wet or feed after midnight.
No. Keep it out of the light as well.
Create a Gremlodo.
Simu Liu's alleged old Reddit account is why you should never post.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Marvel's Shang-Chi star Simu Liu is under fire for old Reddit posts linked to the actor that should have stayed in the drafts to begin with.
Oh, God. Right,
so
before we even begin, he is what, 34?
I think so, yeah, or 32.
Okay, so we are millennials, whether we like it or not, and we are of the age where it was all new to us. The internet was all new to us, and we got excited and we wrote shit. Even as our minds were still developing, and we were still petulant children / teenagers, etc., etc. Future generations will absolutely, based on how this sort of stuff is received in the next decade, double down on not giving a shit, or will be way more careful about what they say. Because they're seeing now the effects. The same way, like, the first generation who smoked like troopers didn't really see the effects of it. Like, that's what's happening here. We are now starting to see the effects of a life lived carefree and shitty online when you are too young to know better, or old enough that you should know better but type it anyway. That being said, whatever is about to be said, he should probably at least say, yeah, that was a dick move. I'm sorry. What the fuck has been unearthed?
So...
Matt's like rubbing his scalp and biting his lip, and I'm so worried where this is going to go.
Dude. Last week, fans began sharing screenshots of Reddit comments the actor allegedly made years before he was well known. To say they were not great would be an understatement.
Oh, fuck nuggets.
Through the Nipped in the Bud profile, which has been credibly linked to Liu via a searchable GitHub tool that archives Reddit accounts, has since been deleted. Multiple screen grabs of posts tied to the account have been making the rounds online and causing a certain degree of backlash because of their content and where they were initially written. In addition to making casually sexist remarks about women being inferior athletes to men and inelegantly expressing disdain for extremism in a way that carried Islamophobic overtones, Nipped in the Bud, and by extension Liu, came under fire for participating in r/AZN Identity, a subreddit that's known as a hub for an Asian-identified subset of the men's rights activist community.
Oh.
Though r/AZN Identity purports to be a space that's against all forms of anti-Asianism, anti-Asian racism, the subreddit has a well-documented history of being a meeting place for aggrieved men who launch coordinated attacks, typically against women, some of whom are Asian themselves, that they've identified as being race traitors in some way or another. While none of the screenshots making the rounds had directly linked Nipped in the Bud to any of the group's more vicious behaviour, the account being at all present associated with r/AZN Identity raised eyebrows because of what kind of place it is. Somewhat more concerning than the digital
Somewhat
company...
more concerning than racially motivated incel cult behaviour.
Somewhat more concerning than the digital company Nipped in the Bud kept, though, were ideas expressed in a post likening paedophiles to gay people.
Oh, fuck.
In a comment posted back in 2015, when Liu would have been 26... Nipped in the Bud described how they'd done, quote, a significant amount of research for a show in which they portrayed a paedophile, and how the experience made them, quote, much more sympathetic to anyone who is born with those urges. The deleted post read, once again, quote, from a biological standpoint, it's no different than being gay. A small mutation in the genome that defines our sexual preferences. Depending on what area of the world you were born and what time, it may also have been a perfectly acceptable thing to act on those urges. End quote. The post also made clear that the person writing it felt that people preying upon children was wrong, as is the history of queer people's sexualities being pathologised by both the medical and criminal justice systems. Though Nipped in the Bud did not mention specifically which role they were describing, because significant amount of research for a role, because the account seems to be Liu, it stands to reason that it was talking about the actor's stint on Blood and Water, a trilingual Canadian crime drama that began running in 2015, in which Liu portrayed Paul G, the eldest son of a powerful real estate magnate who becomes one of the suspects after his younger brother Charlie dies under mysterious circumstances. Over the course of the first season, you learn how as children Paul molested Charlie, and the abuse eventually drove Charlie to substance abuse in the following years. When Charlie ultimately threatens to tell everyone what Paul did to him, the elder brother kills his younger sibling in a panic rage, and the bulk of Blood and Water focuses on Detective Josephine Bradley piecing the mystery together. What's particularly galling about Nipped in the Bud's old comments, when you consider them in the context of the story...
Oh no, because everything prior to this is completely fine. Yeah, sure.
Is that Paul Shee was not just a man suffering from an unfortunate affliction he had no control over. Throughout the series' first season, Paul is shown to be a manipulative liar who tries to use the power that comes from being editor at a local newspaper to get the authorities off his back. Oh, sorry, this is just taking it right out of me. When Paul's father, Lee Rong, Oscar Sue, confronts him, he tells his son that he's always had some inkling of what was going on and struggled with the shame of it. The help Paul claims he's received to deal with his compulsions is contrasted by his willingness to deceive others within his family about the circumstances of his brother's death, and it all creates a picture of a tormented but ultimately monstrous man who only feels remorse once his secret has been exposed. To its credit, Blood and Water thoughtfully explores ideas about how familial shame and secrecy often end up becoming sources of trauma in and of themselves, but it was and continues to be beyond irresponsible and deeply homophobic to liken queerness to paedophilia as Nipped in the Bud did after the mountains of research they purportedly put into preparing for the role. Unsurprisingly, Liu's made no direct statement in response to some of the questions about the Nipped in the Bud account. However, as the screenshot circulated and gained more attention, the actor added a tweet to a thread from 2019 reiterating that he's only interested in advocating for, quote, positive cultural pride. And the 2019 tweet reads, just a reminder that I do not ever advocate for anything other than positivity, positive cultural pride, positive iterations of Asian masculinity and femininity that means we don't put each other down, direct your frustration at the system that did this to all of us, and then say it. And then recently he's added, oh cool, this is here.
What, to that tweet?
Yeah.
To sort of go like, I've made a point already.
Yeah.
Right.
So IO9 reached out to Disney and Liu's management and representatives multiple times, did not hear back by the time of publishing. It seems
so
they
were like, hi, we just want to know, do you want to say something? Because people have been talking about it and we're giving you the shot. Because again, put a pin in it just a second. Here's the thing. 26, your brain is adult and developed by that point.
Allegedly, yeah.
Like, you can still be a jackass, and you can
I
still...
did some
you can
jackass
still
shit in my 20s,
Oh,
yeah.
same. You can still do stuff that you then later go, fuck, what was I doing? And you learn from it.
Shit, I did stuff like that last week.
Yeah. So, he's absolutely in a position where he could, if he's sincere, go, yeah, like, I was a fucking idiot. And honestly, that's not who I am anymore. It really is not. Like, I have changed, I've learned, I was... Hanging out in those kind of places didn't help.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know what I mean? He could clarify, and then it's up to, obviously, people as individuals to decide whether or not they buy it or not. That's completely up to the individual, but at least he does the right thing by clarifying and being sincere, if he is indeed sincere. He seems like he's giving off that, like, fuck this, nah, move on, kind of vibe. And it's like, dude, that just makes it look like maybe you haven't grown.
Yeah, you kind of have to address it, don't you? James Gunn style.
Yeah, again, James Gunn, perfect. And again, I know there'll be people listening to this who are like, still don't want to, deal with him or watch his stuff. Totally fair. But what he did was, in 2012, when someone first said, hang on, you used to make really nasty, horrible, really fucked up jokes. You were doing a Disney movie? He went, yeah, that's not who I am anymore. I was a dickhead for doing it. Like, I honestly am sorry if I upset you with any of that. But that's not the film I'm going to make, and that's not the stuff I'm going to be doing with this company or going forward. And he has then proved that in everything he's made since.
Yeah.
So that when it got randomly brought up as a political attack from far-right twats online, he lost a job over it because of the reactionary nature of the Walt Disney Company.
Yep.
Marvel going, what are you doing? You already talked about this. Went away, made the best DCEU movie hands down.
Yep.
And during that period, Marvel managed to convince Disney to rethink what they were doing because he had actually proved personal growth and not to be like that anymore.
Well, also, I think there might have been a management change as well.
Well, that too. But, you know what I mean? It's that whole thing
Yeah.
of, like... Well, again, there's the hypocrisy level of it all as well. Do you know what I mean? The whole...
Fuck yeah.
Here's a man who used to say shitty things, who has acknowledged that he used to say shitty things and doesn't say shitty things anymore. And then you've got, like, Ike Perlmutter, the guy stopping them from making Black Panther and Captain Marvel or a Black Widow movie for the better part of the first 8 years, because, in his words, he did not want to put money behind a film with a black lead or a female lead because no one will come and see it. Like, when you've got someone who's actively toxic and damaging and misogynistic and, like, obviously racist in terms of his depictions and business ideas in the company or running the company, versus somebody who used to say shitty shit, who's apologized, shitty shit, who's apologized for it,
Stop saying
and has
shitty
proven
shit,
that they're not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I will always side with someone like Gunn in that situation.
Yeah.
Simu has been an incredibly positive force for representation, for conversation over the past couple of years since his casting as Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Even more so now around the film's release. Please, Simu Liu, for the love of fuck, clarify your position
You can't comment on it. You can't.
now.
Yeah.
Because, like, playing it, like, don't Barrowman this.
Yeah.
Don't wait too long and give a half-assed apology to the Daily Mail. Like...
To the Daily Mail! To the Daily Mail!
The Daily Mail! Like, do it now. Just do it now. Just say, hi guys, yeah, I hung out in some shitty places online and I used to be a really shitty person.
Yeah.
Not like that now. I've learnt since. I understand that. Because he's already got some solid evidence as to the fact that he may have moved on from those, if those are his indeed accounts. They were deleted accounts. The posts were still up. The accounts were deleted. He probably went, yeah, this is shitty. And
Yeah.
deleted his accounts, changed his mind, decided to get out of that community and stop thinking like that, or hanging out with people who perpetuated and furthered that kind of belief system. The one that's really concerning is the one where he's like, due to my studies,
Yeah.
on a film where the studies he's apparently, allegedly, if this is him, taken away from it, are the wrong fucking, like, side of it.
Not great, mate.
Even when his character's, like, not playing it in that... Oh, it's so weird. Just get out and say something now, my dude, please, for the love of shit. Otherwise, we all look forward to Zhai Ling and the Legend of the Ten Rings in 4 years' time. Actually, I'm not even joking, I would watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
And also, there she is on my shelf, so she's judging us.
I'd watch that, mate.
I'd watch it, mate!
I'd watch it, mate.
Mate!
You know what I wish I hadn't watched?
Are we about to get into spoiler territory?
Yeah.
Oh, shit biscuits. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a few other little bits and pieces in a while.
Are we?
Yeah, Halloween.
It might kill.
Alright, we're going to touch on that quick, and then we'll get into What If Marvel. Another bastard week, where it's another bastard Marvel thumbnail. Everyone's going to think we're biased, but guess what? They're the only ones actually bringing out any fucking news. I mean, Batman Day was this past week.
Oh.
And we got...
the Batman Audio Adventures.
The first audio one, I think, went up online, didn't it, as well?
I've not heard it.
No,
I was going to say I've not seen it then, but then...
But it's like Deirdre Bader, Jeffrey Wright. Sure, okay, I'll give it a listen.
Weird pairing, especially when you're thinking, like, it's the Brave and the Bold voice actor with the Batman,
Yeah.
Gordon. But I guess that depends how Jeffrey Wright's pitching it. Or it depends how Deirdre Bader's pitching it. For that matter.
Based on that trailer from a couple of weeks ago, the whole thing's being played more like a 1940s, 50s radio serial.
Alright, okay.
So I'm like, okay. So it's got that level of drama and gravitas, but it's also got that kitsch, slightly camp
So I guess it's
through
more
line.
like The Grey Ghost!
These are the hammers of justice. God, I love Deirdre Bader's Batman. I love it. I love the fact that he's Batman and Harley Quinn as well. Because it's
Yeah.
like, yes, giving him some slightly different material, but like using that sort of cheese as part of the DNA of it. It's, yeah. Especially when he's been petty to Alfred. Who's played by Tom Hollander.
Your Batman would never.
That Batman definitely does. So, fucking Halloween Kills. Final trailer is out. Second trailer. First full trailer. Final trailer.
Full fat trailer.
Full fat, fatty fat goodness trailer fats. The dummy from 1978's Magic.
Let's bring back a whole bunch of old characters.
I mean, literally, in some cases.
There's got to be a TV tropes entry for when horror movies do this. Like long-running horror franchises do this.
It's been done a few times, hasn't it? Surely.
That's what I mean, yeah.
So the premise of this is it's immediately after Halloween 2018, meaning that in this quadrilogy, by the time next year's one comes out, we will have two movies called Halloween, and then Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends.
Yeah, so Halloween comes after Halloween.
Yeah. Well, Halloween comes 30 years after Halloween.
Yes.
And then Halloween Kills comes 30 minutes after Halloween, but not Halloween.
No, it's only 30 years after Halloween. It's only 30 minutes after Halloween.
Jesus.
Halloween.
Michael Myers survives the trap, the household that Laurie Strode had set up outside
No
of
man
town.
could survive that.
No man could survive that. No. Now the Shape, for that matter.
The Shape.
And he's coming back to kill everybody, and it looks like either the whole town is Haddonfield is suddenly aware, or Laurie sounds the alarms because we've now got people who have also grown up with the trauma of that event.
Other survivors from that night.
Yeah, some we know. I mean, the last film sort of implied, didn't it? Like people in the town. You had like there's like the sheriff's deputy or whatever and stuff.
Yeah.
There's all these implications of there are people who really remember. It's not just the people who lived on that street. The whole town remembers the events of that night because they either know someone who's involved, witnessed it, read about it in the paper the next morning, like whatever, they all knew. And that terror is in the DNA of Haddonfield. Like, people are waiting, none so more than those who the trailer highlights as, oh shit, that character was in the original.
Literally
oh shit,
does
that character was in the
side by
original.
side,
Yeah. Including a character who's already been reprised in the original film series before they rebooted it twice.
Yes!
Paul Rudd's debut motion picture.
Yes!
Albeit not played by Paul Rudd this time.
No.
Would have been a bit distracting, I think.
Anthony Michael Hall this time around.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, more of the same.
More of the same.
But part 2 of 3 / part 3 of 4.
Yeah.
But basically part 1 of 2. Like, the original 2,
Oh god,
Halloween,
cross-eyed.
Halloween and Halloween 2018. Try not to think too much about it. Just have fun. And that goes for all of you at home. Halloween and Halloween 2018 are their own sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then this is a two-hander. Like, these two, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, are filmed back-to-back, filmed at the same time, 2 production blocks back-to-back.
Yes.
And they're intended to be watched as a part 1 and part 2.
Although,
Oh.
the existence of the Silver Shamrock Mask would suggest that Season of the Witch is possibly canon.
I fucking hope so. you know what I think that is?
Almost made it through that sentence with a straight face.
I think I'm not even kidding. I kind of hope it is in a weird, fucked up
fucking
way,
love season
or at the
one.
very least that the company is.
Halloween
Like,
3 is fucking bonkers,
It's
and I
great.
love it.
for those who don't know, it's the only film in the original series that has fuck all to do with the rest of the series. Because that was the plan, wasn't it? The plan was there was going to be a new Halloween every year,
It's going to be
and each one was going to be a
anthology.
different stories about different things. But the first one was so popular that the second one became an immediate sequel, Halloween 2. Because it's like 2 years later, and it's like 1980 or something like that. It was like a 2-year gap.
1981 was Halloween 2. So
Oh,
3
3
year
years.
gap.
But it's set immediately after the events of Halloween. So you watch Halloween
Yeah.
and then you watch Halloween 2. Then Halloween 3, because they're like, right, we've done Michael Myers now. We've done that. We had 2 really fun outings with it, and they change up the setting a bit of the second one so it doesn't feel like a repeat of the first one, and it becomes more about like a family mystery and what everyone's connections really are and the events,
Yeah.
and Then the third one is like, right, we're doing the anthology. Hey, kids, masks, heads melting, and masks, witches, and fucking Satan worship and shit. Let's do it. Why not?
Turn your heads into bags.
Happy, happy Halloween.
Oh, it's so good.
Silver Shamrock.
And then
Uncredited writing work on it by Nigel Neal as well.
really,
Yeah.
okay. And then that doesn't do well, financially or critically, because people are going, "It's not Michael Myers though." So they
Also,
chicken
it is
out.
a fucking weird, bonkers movie.
They chicken out, and the fourth one goes back to formula.
Back to formula.
So the series becomes about Michael Myers again, and then in itself goes into like satanic rituals and cult storylines as it goes on, and then it gets sort of rebooted with Halloween H2O,
Yeah.
which pretends that only the first 2 happened. Well, it sort of pretends that the first 2 happened and alludes to 4, 5, and 6 maybe having happened. And then Halloween Resurrection, which is a sequel to H2O, which pretends that only 1, 2, and H2O happened for definite.
It's just fucking
Then Rob
bonkers,
Zombie
man.
reboots it as Halloween and Halloween 2 in the 2000s and early 2010s.
Yeah, in his imitable Rob Zombie style.
Where he does some interesting stuff with it, but also kind of completely misses the point of the mystery of Michael Myers just being this thing.
Sounds like Rob Zombie!
And then we get Halloween in 2018, which ignores all of them except for the original 1978 Halloween. But now we're getting visual nods, very obvious visual nods to Season of the Witch. Which, I'll be honest, I think it's just them going, do you know what? We, the people who make this, we love that movie. We're gonna... Why not? We need kids in Halloween masks. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Let's just do the masks from Season of the Witch. It's like, go for
why
it.
not? Why
Go
the fuck not?
for it. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Bloody Shamrock.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween, Halloween, happy, happy Halloween. Silver Shamrock.
I'm looking forward to this.
very good.
We are getting it like next week, I think, is when it comes out over here, right?
No, it's October. It's still a couple of weeks yet.
Like, oh, that's it. America are getting it
Reviews
in
are out.
theatres soon.
October 17th is the release date, I think.
I know America have got a staggered release though. One or the other, they're getting it in theatres first, and then they're getting it on Peacock.
Oh, yeah, that streaming service that everyone definitely watches.
Because I guess NBC put money. What's a Universal streaming service, isn't it? Do Universal have ties into this one?
I have no fucking idea,
Who
man.
is it? Who is it? Halloween. I've not got. I've just looked at my shelf like for answers, but the one I've got over here is the '78 one, so that doesn't answer any questions.
Happy, happy Halloween.
I
Check
think it
the
is.
producers.
I think it is Universal.
So yeah, I'm excited. I want it, and I want it in my life.
I want it in my life.
I want it in my own holes. Oh, bitch, please, bitch tits.
Yeah, October 15th for us.
Oh shit. Okay, we got a while then.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Should we marathon all the movies we need to marathon to get everyone up to speed for a special episode?
What? Halloween and Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. We can watch Halloween and Halloween again. Well,
There
we
are
did
no other movies.
We did a Halloween an episode, to be fair.
In prep for Halloween 2018, we watched Halloween 78 and chatted
I
about
think,
it.
we did,
and
I
then
think we did it in both in one episode, actually.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been 3 years.
I can't
I got
fucking remember.
married the same month we did that.
There's been a pandemic. There still is a pandemic.
Shit's happened. Oh, God. So, like, last year, we were meant to be in Florida on our 2nd anniversary
Yeah.
to celebrate that we got married in Florida 2 years prior.
Yeah.
This year, obviously didn't happen, and then this year we ain't going to be anywhere on the anniversary. And we're having
Oh.
one of those months. So you know what we're doing to celebrate? Just getting a big pizza takeout, watching a film.
Big pizza, mate. Big pizza. Big pizza.
Anyway, enough joy.
Enough joy. On to terrible things.
Well...
Mate, let's do it.
Spoiler free
Nope.
for a couple minutes just to sum up what it is.
Nope, it's rubbish is what it is.
So last week's episode of Marvel's What If?
Yeah,
What
if?
was what if Killmonger saved Tony Stark's life? To which you go, wait, what? So we begin at the very fucking beginning of the MCU with Tony taking the trip on his favourite rocket ship, blasting through the sky.
Actually, what's his name? Wingert.
Mick Wingert does a good
Wingert
job.
doing a good job of emulating
He's
Downey
like
Jr.
He's like Lake Bell with Natasha.
Yes.
Like it's not a spot on impression, but
it's
there's
close
there's
enough
a
for rock and roll, yeah.
there's a flavour of the actor's voice in there. I mean, it wouldn't surprise you that Mick Wingert has done a bit of Iron Man stuff before
What?
this. And
Shocking.
And like the guy from Earth's Mightiest Heroes, who also does a pretty good sort. I'd say his is closer to Downey Jr.
Who is also the guy who plays Talbot in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But both those actors, who've played Iron Man, like Mick Wingert and that fella,
Yes.
both of them have also voice doubled for Jack Black.
Shit.
Both of them have made a career, or a decent portion of their voiceover career, playing both Robert Downey Jr. characters and Jack Black characters in voiceover. They're the guys for those two actors.
Wow.
Weird, right?
Yeah, that is weird.
But you can kind of hear it. You can hear them both in the voice.
I can hear it.
It's mad.
It's just weird.
So when do we just get an episode where Tony Stark is just played by Jack Black? What if Tony Stark was in Tenacious D?
What if? What if?
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
I am the Ironest Man.
And here's my sidekick, Young Nasty Man. Ring-a-go-go, ring-a-go-go.
That's right. I am very hard, like iron.
The Avengers starring Wonder Boy and Young Nasty Man. Rage Cage coming out with the line. That's my secret. I'm always angry. Just slips off his Crocs. Runs at the Leviathan.
Hell.
You'd pay to see it. Let's be honest. I do love the D. I adore it.
So I hear.
Weird. Yeah, so it's the same as Iron Man, but
Rubbish.
Stark
Same as Iron Man, but bad.
Stark isn't caught in sort of the blast of his bomb and shaken up and then taken in by the Ten Rings.
No.
The Ten Rings assault on the troops happens, but then Eric Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan, rocks up, saves his life. They apparently then deal with that terrorist cell then and there. They get back. He gives his press conference. Of course, now it's not just him going to get a cheeseburger because he's not knackered and he's not malnourished and it's not several months later. It's like the next day.
It's like, look at the dude who saved my life.
I've got to say,
Now we're better mates.
is some of the... that scene
Yeah.
at the press conference is some of the best dialogue in this show so far for me because it felt like it was a scene from Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like, it was all new dialogue, but I was like, this feels like it's come from that film. This is really... The way Stark handled the press, we get Christine Everhart again. But the way he handled the press and everything, it's like, that's nuts. I feel like I'm watching a deleted scene from Iron Man. This is really strange. And Killmonger, out and out, exposes Stane's
right
plan.
then and there, yeah.
It's like, yeah, they were hired by you dickhead, and I've got the proof. And he gets arrested, and then suddenly it's like, you're the new head of security, and Happy's like, that was going to be my job. Reference to Iron Man 3.
Sure.
And yeah, basically what follows is Killmonger works with the company, and Iron Man never makes the armor, but Killmonger's got an idea for some attack drones. We sort of see Stark's ingenuity going into these pieces, and then people that Stark works with or was trying to do deals with start getting bumped off, and then eventually Stark gets bumped off, and then Killmonger decides to pay a visit to his home nation of Wakanda. with his army of drones. So, again, pre-spoilers. Tony died. Shut up. Because that seems to be a tradition in What If. If Tony shows up in the story, he dies or is undead.
Kill him.
Essentially, what we've got is Iron Man leading into the plot of Black Panther.
Yeah.
8 years early.
Yeah.
Which begs a few continuity questions with at least two characters. Two specific characters confuse the fuck out of me in terms of like what's going on.
We'll get
Claw
there.
partially.
We'll get there.
Killmonger especially.
Yeah.
Because other characters acknowledge that it's 8 years early.
Yes.
T'Challa's role is believable because we do know that he was at least training for something before the events of Civil War when we first meet him.
Yeah.
It's not far-fetched to believe he would already be in that role whilst his father is still king.
Yeah.
His father is clearly younger. His mother is clearly younger.
Yeah.
Shuri is definitely younger.
Yeah.
Killmonger looks like he does in 2016.
What?
So that's weird. Stuff we like, stuff we dislike without getting into too many spoilers. I think all the voice actors do a damn fine job in this.
The voice acting is usually pretty solid in it.
Again, it's mostly a returning cast. Like, the only people you're not getting returning are Iron Man, Pepper Potts, and... Shuri obviously is cast younger. Oh god, my brain.
That one.
Oh, shit. Oh, Shuri.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shuri. Yeah, not Shuri. General Ross.
General Ross. Oh, yes.
And Jeff Bridges. But it's like two lines of dialogue. But then again, so was Jarvis in this episode. Paul Bettany gets like 5th credit and he has one line.
Paul Bettany loves coming back for this kind of stuff. He loves it. He fucking
Wait, you want me to come back and play the role my kids thought was boring?
Sure.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Um,
Have you ever lain awake at night and thinking why you're not in Star Wars?
This week was the animation. This week was the week where I realised how much I do actually love the animation, because when it's directed well, certain shots look glorious. It was also the week where certain set pieces were played out in the most boring way they could be visually.
It was generally, I thought, a very kind of a boring episode.
Again, no spoilers. Its recurring flaw. It honestly felt like it wasn't going anywhere. And then it
goes somewhere really quick.
Yeah, and then but doesn't really do anything significant.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to wonder whether or not this is a casualty of what seems to be creeping into the horizon, which is an inevitable all of these are going to interconnect at some point.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, it might retroactively make this one just that, it's the mid-season,
What if that's the case?
But it's in service of this, so as a whole package, fair enough. But to me, that's against what I find appealing about What If, which is random one-off stories that fuck around with the concepts.
It's in service of my balls.
We're going to go into spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers about What If Iron Man was saved by Killmonger or whatever, get out of here with them eye holes.
They're my eye holes.
Here we go, spoilers.
Right.
The fuck was the point?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Basically, Killmonger comes... The what if here isn't what if Killmonger saved Stark. It's what if Killmonger earlier had come up with a plan to infiltrate Wakanda.
Like, there's no...
Because, like, what happens in Black Panther? He's done all this stuff. He's been special ops for years. He's been a killer. And to their credit in this, when we see him shirtless with the scars, he's got way less scars than he does in Black Panther. Because, of course, he's not killed as many people yet.
Yeah.
But... in Black Panther, he's done all that. He's the son of Najobu. He's arguably joint rightful heir to the throne of Wakanda.
Yeah.
And he's pissed. He's pissed off that his dad was killed by T'Chaka.
Yeah.
And he wants to get revenge. So he does what he does for years. Then he builds up connections with Claw's outfit.
Yeah.
To begin the final sting that will eventually lead to what we think forcefully infiltrating Wakanda. But then you realise, no, he kills Claw and uses him as a bartering chip.
Yeah.
To get into the throne room.
Yeah.
And then begin the fuck up of Wakanda. Of course, the other factor being T'Chaka's gone.
Yes.
And you understand that maybe T'Chaka's assassination was the motivation he needed for I don't get to get revenge on my father's killer, the man who I blame for it,
Yes.
but I can at least right the wrongs. And also his other motivation is he's like, why are any black people anywhere subjugated when Wakanda could fucking liberate them and like destroy white supremacy in every way? Specifically violently. Like, that is his, like,
Yeah.
And Killmonger's entire thing in that movie is you come away from it going, I see your point of view. You are absolutely trying to do the right thing. You are doing it in every wrong way possible.
Yeah.
That's why he's a compelling character. In this, that's still his plan. But now he's playing a long game. Started early.
He's
Started
playing an
8
even
years
longer
early,
game, yeah.
and he's playing a long game.
I
So,
don't know that the timing works out, personally.
yeah, the prologue for Black Panther takes place in 91, I think. The prologue of the original movie. I'm looking at the poster of it on the wall behind you, hoping it'll give me answers.
It will not.
But unless that poster's got like, so scene 1.
Google, hello.
Help us, Mr. Google.
Hello.
Help me, Mr. Google.
Don't ever make that sound again.
Oh boy, help me,
Or I
Mr.
will-
Google.
Oh God, no.
Oh boy.
Oh God, no.
Fiddle fingers.
No. Please stop. Or else
Oh boy.
stomp on your balls.
So, takes place in...
So, I don't know.
I thought you were looking it up.
I'm looking it up to see if there's a proper timeline. Is what I'm looking up.
Oh no, it's not that. I just need the opening of Black Panther. The very beginning. I don't even know what the fuck's your problem. There's a police cocaine boat from Miami, and that's the last I'll ever quote that racist prick. Where is the plot? I want to see your 1992.
Oh, okay.
1992 in Oakland. So let's for argument's sake, let's say 1992 that is, and the events of Black Panther take place immediately after Civil War in 2016.
Yeah.
So let's say, for the sake of argument, that in 1992, Eric Killmonger, because we see him, he's quite young. He's not a tiny kid, but he's also not a teen yet. Yeah?
Yeah.
So let's say he was... Let's say he was 7.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
just around that age, 7, 8. But let's say he was... Okay, let's say he's 8 in 1992.
Yeah.
He's 8 in 1992, which would make him how old in 1996? 12.
Yeah.
Black Panther is then 20 years after that, 1996, so he would be 32. That is a believable age for Michael B. Jordan's character to be in the events of Black Panther.
Yeah.
Based on his experience, his training, the fact that he'd be closer to T'Challa's age, because that's part of like his contention for why he believes he deserves the throne.
Yes.
And Michael B. Jordan himself was in his early 30s at the time of that film.
Yes.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Yes.
So he was 32 in 2016, meaning in 2008 he would be 24.
Young, but not impossible.
Not impossible, but for his design to be exactly the same in this as what he would be at, say, age 32.
Yeah, it's nearly a decade earlier.
And yeah, he's got less kills. There is a visible sign when we see him shirtless, because even in animation, we've got to get the female gaze shot in there. I'm not saying no thank you, but like, he's got less scars. That is visibly the only difference in his design.
Yeah.
He's not played as younger. He's actually played as wiser, if anything, because he's playing that, more devious, because he's playing the long game.
Yeah.
We also don't get any explanation in the episode, and I know people aren't watching these necessarily fresh. They're probably watching them because they've watched the movies. We don't get any explanation as to what he's up to, or where he stands on the thing with his dad, or T'Chaka.
Yeah.
We get the insinuation toward the end where he's like, why couldn't we use all this to, free our brothers and sisters around the world? So you get a... and if you know the Black Panther movie, you're like, this is still his objective.
I think
but if you've not watched
though.
it,
Yeah.
if you've not watched it, there's no connection.
It is relying on you having watched.
It's relying on you having watched and deeply knowing the events of that movie.
Not just having a
Not
passing
just that
familiarity
film,
with it.
Iron Man as well.
Yeah.
Deeply knowing the events of that movie to know why nothing's being done from a certain point for certain
To be
characters.
fair, I think for a series like this, that's not an unreasonable assumption to make about your
Oh, sure. But Killmonger's plot is not as ubiquitous as, say, in terms of widely known, as, say, the death of Uncle Ben. Or Captain America being a skinny guy turning a big guy. Like, you have to have watched Black Panther recently, or be a sado like us, to remember that exact strain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a very specific... Like, Zombies episode even, you don't need to know any plots. Hulk crashes into Earth in Avengers thingy, doesn't he? Oh, it's that, but he's arrived and everyone's dead. There you go. Like, in terms of, like, everyone's
undead.
Everyone's undead, Dave.
Hey.
In terms of starting the story, it's a straightforward kind of thing. You don't have to remember Iron Man 2 specifically for episode 3 to work. Because you see it's a scene with Fury and Widow and Stark guys. So then you get the gist that, everyone we know is going to be an Avenger's going to get killed off somehow. So you follow that. Each one kind of works. Like, T'Challa as Star-Lord is its own thing. It's very much its own thing. It's the most kind of original one out of the 6 so far.
Yeah, that's true.
But even that is just, it's Black Panther instead of Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
And there's the starting point. You don't have to know anything else. You can just watch the story unfold that happens.
Yeah.
Like, if you remember the movies or you know the nods, it's just a little reward.
Yeah.
It's a little kind of, I remember. Okay, all right.
I understood that reference.
Yeah. Episode 4, again. Doctor Strange, his love dies and he becomes a maniac. And during the story, the Ancient One shows up and is like, this isn't supposed to happen, dude. What are you doing? And the finale of that episode is, hi, here's you not a prick. Can you go and sort this out?
Yeah.
It's a self-contained story that does its own thing. This one isn't even self-contained. There's no conclusion.
And I think that's the problem we're having.
Like, the conclusion should have been the declaration of war against Wakanda from the United States. Because then at least you're like, wait, what? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, stuff's going to kick off. But then you have to have a suggestion of what he's going to do with that. Because at the moment, all he's going to do with that is fight some drones he co-designed when the America inevitably send more.
Yeah.
And?
And also, would America declare war on a country
that they don't necessarily know exists? It's only known through intel by the government and the military.
They're not going to declare war. And
because at this point in its history, no one knows what Wakanda is beyond, like, it's a vague, like, quiet... This ain't a civil war. Wakanda, as far as the world is concerned, is a small African nation that's got its own, like, monarchy, and that's all it is, and it deals in textiles imports, and it's its own little thing. Like, it's very, very secretive, but that's because it's very unguarded and very quiet and very, quaint.
There's no mineral wealth there, so no one's ever really tried to exploit it.
Yeah, and of course the secret is, it's a fucking, like, entire mega city funded by, fueled by geniuses, run from an alien meteorite that created the rarest metal on Earth.
Yeah.
That is not known by many people. I mean, for fuck's sake, even in, like, Civil War, when they're getting hold of not Civil War, Age of Ultron, when they're getting hold of vibranium from Claw to use for Ultron's, like, upgraded body, it's the whole thing of, like, no one knows about it, but Claw's like, oh no, I've seen it. Yeah, I've got your shit right here. Like, it's so off the grid. But in this, it's like, we're going to war with Wakanda. We're like, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, also, like, if...
Like, you don't know that it's a technologically advanced... Like, basically...
If a Chinese agent killed Mark Zuckerberg, the US would not declare war on China.
Exactly. You know
what I mean?
What this needs is it needed him to confront T'Chaka, us get a recap of the events of his father's death. Yeah. And for him to, at the end, like, kill T'Chaka and take dominance of the throne of Wakanda.
But no, that threatens to be interesting.
Because that's what I'm saying, because then that at least would be the ending where you're like, oh shit. Yeah. Because then it's left on that whole, he got what he wanted and he played the long game. He played such a long game that it started at the beginning of this cinematic universe, not even the events of his own movie that he was in. And it's like, you could have done something with that. But instead, the sort of conclusion/twist is, America might be coming to fight as well. I guess it's a good job I'm here to help you fight them. Old family, old buddies, old pals. And then Kid Shuri somehow escapes Wakanda to get to Pepper Potts to be like, hi, I think he's up to something maybe. Let's work together. And that's it. Like, I know episode 3 kind of had that PS with Loki taking control of Earth and then Nick Fury going and finding Captain America and calling in Captain Marvel. But that at least sets up in your head the idea of, oh, maybe there will be Avengers in this world after all.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, it's a little PS. Whereas in this, the PS was no, that should be the conclusion.
Yeah.
What is happening? Huh? So that,
Yeah.
I mean, before I want to hear you go off, King. But like, before we do, stuff we actually liked. Loved seeing Angela Bassett as the head of the Dora Milaje kicking ass.
Yeah.
With Okoye as sort of her second in command. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I think the returning actors did a really good job.
Yeah.
Especially Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Because, like, he had to play a lot of what I'm saying is not what I actually mean in animation.
Yeah, that can be tricky, can't it?
And he did it very well. I think the brief Black Panther fight sequence was surprising. Did not see that fucking coming. So when it did happen, I was like, oh, okay. Circus having a fucking ball as always, playing Claw.
Yeah.
I did wonder when they were like, we're going to bring Rhodey in. I was like, is it going to be Cheadle? I mean, it will be Cheadle voicing him. But are they going to do what they sort of did with Banner in episode 3?
Split the difference.
Where they kind of like, it was Ruffalo.
Yeah.
But the design was sort of soft Ruffalo. So if you wanted to imagine Edward Norton, you could.
I bet Ruffalo is lovely and soft.
Oh, God. So I wondered if they were going to at least give, like, Don Cheadle Terrence Howard's facial hair from that first movie.
Oh, God.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Just like a little bit of a beard.
Yeah.
Just to sort of go, there, because he has like a mustache, doesn't he? It's like, give him that. So you could be like, oh, okay, it's Don Cheadle recast as Rhodey in the first film's events.
Yeah, it is like a mustache.
I think they had a facial hair shortage in the animation department, though, because Staines' beard was nowhere near as big as it is in the film.
It was not. Tony Stark built this in
a cave with a box of scrap! Then again, was his beard that thick at the start of the movie, or was it that thick after the 3 months of trying to get Tony back?
I don't know. I'd have to check that topless video phone call from the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah. Oh God. Fucking hell. What else? I think Gwyneth Paltrow. I can't remember who it is, but whoever plays Pepper Potts does a really good job.
First time I've ever said that. No. Cruel.
It's nice to hear Jon Favreau and Paul Bettany. I just wish we'd heard more of them.
Yep.
It would have been cool to see or get background hints of the superhero events going on as background noise, because it's well, that's the thing.
Before all of that, though.
But there's a time skip in the first 15 minutes where like he's been Tony's head of whatever for like months now.
Even so, you're a couple of...
Well, Ross gets involved. Can we not have a mention of him being pulled away from the business in whatever?
No, because that happens 2 weeks before...
Or have him... Well, does it? Because episode 3 sets up the events of Incredible Hulk happen after Iron Man 2.
Oh, yeah.
And Iron Man 2 doesn't happen that long after the events of Iron Man.
Yeah.
So we could have some kind of inkling.
I don't know. I think it's a bit too early for any of that stuff to be going on.
True. That's true.
And,
yeah. There was stuff I liked, but... And this is still not my least favourite, funnily enough. Zombies is still my least favourite.
This is my least favourite.
But I think that's because I'm kind of waiting to see if this does play a role in wherever this series is hinting that it's going before the end of the run. I'm curious as to whether or not that'll make me go, okay, as a stepping stone, I don't hate this so much. Because, like, The Long Game, Doctor Who Series 1.
Yeah.
The Long Game is fun, but it's not great. But then when you realise that it's one of the 3 puzzle pieces that makes Bad Wolf and Partner the Ways what it is,
yeah,
retroactively it's sort of like,
yeah, you're not wrong.
I don't, like, it's fine, but I also appreciate the subtle world building it's doing without me knowing it to prepare me for this.
Yeah,
which a lot of American TV shows, especially, they don't, not as many American TV shows do 22 episodes a season now.
No.
Like, they've started to cotton on that we could just do 10 episodes and spend the money across 10 instead.
Yeah.
But, like...
You tell better stories that way.
Yeah, a lot of 22 episode seasons have about 10 in the middle that are give or take. But they still sometimes do stuff to build up for later on. And you're like, okay, sure, alright. Like, if I'm going to binge it, I won't skip these. Because it will overall aid the package. So as a result, I'm going to hold off on whether or not I think this one's worse than Zombie. Like, I'm gonna let it see if it informs the larger piece more before I decide.
Yeah.
Whereas zombies, I'm like, that's not going to inform the larger piece. We'll probably get like some in the crossover. We'll probably get the zombie virus is in part of it somewhere, but that doesn't change the episode for me. Matthew Lahargill Watson.
Yes.
Matthew, the Bandrel Watson.
Yes.
Matthew, that noise that the Zarby make Watson.
I can't do the noise. I'm sorry.
What is bubbling in your cauldron right now? Because you've stroked your beard down to a fine powder, waiting to open up the floodgate.
Well, my little venom grub. I will say that the biggest problem with this episode is that I did not give a single shit. Like, I just didn't care.
It was nearly a fuck.
It was nearly a fuck.
But you realised it was more of a turd. Oh, God.
I just didn't care. It was just boring. It's like, I don't think they did anything interesting with the concept. They just did a slightly different take on Iron Man. And, we're doing Black Panther now, but we're not actually going to do anything interesting with it. Like, look.
Because there's no interesting pieces in place yet.
Yeah, exactly.
T'Challa's training or is now the Black Panther when he's needed to be sent out.
Yeah.
But we don't really spend much time with it. I mean, obviously it's played for shock, because he gets killed. And you're like, oh shit,
yeah,
they killed him off.
It's just like, what would happen if this was different? Oh, well, this character would die, and 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 actually it wouldn't even really matter. And it does have the same problem where it leads to an ending that isn't really an ending.
Yeah.
It's just the problem with the last couple of these what ifs is they've been first acts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the Unbreakable thing.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Only Unbreakable's actually pretty good.
And you don't want its second and third act. You
No.
think you do.
But you don't. You actually really don't.
You really
Especially
don't.
its third act. Have you had a chance to see Glass yet?
No.
Mate.
No. Your review
Mate.
and that one of my favourite thumbnails I've ever made for this show, that's enough for me.
Mate.
Because now I have fond memories of your review is hilarious and that thumbnail's nice. That's all I need. That's all I need.
If it comes on streaming, we'll have to do it. We'll have to do a drunken movie night because it is bad. It's
Shyamalan
really
superhero
bad.
trilogy. Let's do Unbreakable, Split, and Glass.
I can't do them all in one sitting. I would actually die.
Tell you what, we'll do them as Patreon commentaries, and then we'll do an episode where we talk about all three.
Yeah, alright, I'll go
sounds
for
fine.
that. Yeah.
See, we
Still
got something out of this discussion of what if
gotta
episode
finish our
6.
X-Men fucking. We've got 2 movies to go with X-Men.
Yeah, fuck.
2
One
to
of
go.
them's free on streaming, and I think part of me's still holding out for New Mutants to become free.
It's on Now TV. I've seen it.
I know you have, you poor bastard.
You know what?
Yeah?
That's just some decent stuff to talk about there.
Sequel baits, though, doesn't
But
it?
that's another.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll get to that. Not today, though. So. What's the problem with. Yeah, it's just. I just don't care about any of it. And it just. Everything happens a little too quickly and everyone's a little too glib, which is saying something for an MCU property. Like, and. It just. None of it really has time to land. It's rushed.
Considering how, like, sinister our lead character's intentions and actions are, it didn't feel anywhere near as dark as we know the show can go.
No, it didn't.
Like, episode 4 was like, this is unnerving.
Yeah.
Like, this is really disturbing. 5, for its faults, still had moments like that where you were like, between the unnecessary joking, where you were like, okay, that was kind of creepy.
Yeah, but again, tonally it was a bit... And I think tonally this is a little bit of a mess as well. Like, I think it is too funny in places. Things like the happy gag about the security being his job. It's like... I get where they're going, but
it's
it
too
just
early
doesn't-
on, because you're still like, what's happening here? Why is
Yeah.
Killmonger involved at this
Yeah.
point? Because again, that's
just-
the difference is that basically he got wind of the Ten Rings plans.
Yeah.
So he decided to use that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because you get that the first like seed is planted where like whoever it is looks him up and it's like, yeah, his unit was like 40 clicks
Yeah.
in the other
He was in
direction
the
on
wrong
another
place.
mission.
Yeah.
So why was he here? And I was like, okay, that's going to be... I thought the plot of this episode was going to be Pepper and Happy and Rhodey investigating what the fuck was going on.
But no,
That's what I thought it was going to be.
they just skipped to Black Panther.
But yeah, they made Killmonger our main character, and yet we never really found out what his exact motivations were. We can only infer what they were
Because we've
from
seen
having
Black
seen the
Panther.
movie,
Yeah.
even though this is the same character 8 years earlier in his personal timeline.
Yeah.
Like,
And he isn't as angry and bitter as he is in Black Panther, to be fair.
Because again, yeah, in that it's stewed more.
Yeah.
Um,
But it just does, it just didn't work for me.
it was a series of and
Yeah. Ponder the
And-
question.
Do you know what? It was boring improv. It was yes
boring
and. It was yes and.
It was boring improv. It just did not hit any, and it's doing that annoying thing where it hits certain plot beats to go, see, that's a twist on this one.
Yeah, but only using 2 and a bit movies.
Yeah.
One of which doesn't work as well because Black Panther's events, a lot's changed in terms of Wakanda and the structure of the characters by that point.
Where's the
by
Border
the time
Tribe?
Black Panther? Where is the Border Tribe? That's true.
Where's the Border Tribe?
I mean, we know that they. Hang on, the Border Tribe. Is that the security force?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guard the border.
We know that they show up at the battle. Like we see them show up at the battle, but like they're not throughout.
They're not
there. There's
actually
no
guarding
presence
the
of them
border.
guarding the border.
Because we get he kills Claw as a way in thing again,
Yeah.
like you mentioned earlier. But we don't get the Border Tribe meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
And
we get
all-
like a couple of Dawn and Renard
Yeah.
just walk up and go, what's this about? What are you doing?
And then, like, what... So that also kind of gets rid of that wonderful sort of bonding you have between Daniel Kaluuya's character.
And
And
Denai
Killmonger
Guerrero
in-
as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, him
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Killmonger seeing eye to
Yeah.
eye in
That's all
some
gone.
ways. Yeah. But again,
also
like,
Killmonger's playing this
then again,
sort of...
Daniel Kaluuya's character might be like barely out of Wakandan high school at this point.
Yeah. And but also... But in that...
But also, like Claw's 8 years prior, Claw's in the same shipyard doing the same deals.
yeah.
Really? Huh?
So how long has he had the vibranium for? When did he...
just sat there for 8 years. Well, Age of Ultron happens in 2015. So was he just sat there for 7 years
Possibly.
before Ultron rocks up, rips his arm off?
Yeah.
Like, just,
I mean, I don't think it's unfair to it. Oh, sorry. I don't think it's
not very
unreasonable
much
to assume
that's not one of his bases of operations,
That would probably be
yeah.
like his main base of operations. Cause
but it was short. It's also shorthand visually because it's there for us
this
as the
is
viewer
Claw,
to go,
yeah.
"Oh, it's Claw."
And it's a lot of shorthand to make up for the fact that they're shorter episodes, but they don't do anything interesting with the extra time that they get from using all that shorthand.
Here's an interesting fact for you. So I think we both. for
Is
the
it?
No, yeah. For the most part, I think we both. I think me a bit more so than yourself, but I think we both enjoyed What If Peggy Carter took the Super Soldier Serum.
Yeah, that was good fun.
And that one was obviously that was sort of a soft core introduction to the idea of the series.
Yeah.
As in, you're basically going to watch the first Captain America movie again, but this is different, and the third act's going to be weird.
Yeah.
And that was a big complaint for a lot of people. They're like, it's not different enough. And it's like, they're doing this to soften it so that newbies to this idea will go, oh, okay, I see what you... And then week 2, they went, here's every fucking thing. T'Challa, Star-Lord,
Yeah.
like, it's like, okay, bring it on.
I still don't buy that Thanos thing.
But the first episode was a weak link for a lot of people. We didn't see it as much because we saw the function of the first
Yeah.
episode. The first episode and episode 6, What If Killmonger Saved Tony Stark, were by the same writer.
Okay.
So the cracks we could forgive the first time were definitely present here.
Because we're seeing the
It
same
stuck
thing.
too close to the source material of Black Panther and assumed we knew it
Yeah.
to tell an interesting story on its own. Which I hope... Fuck me, I hope that we... And based on some of the promo material that we've not seen executed yet, specifically a couple shots in the first trailer for the series,
Yeah.
we've not seen the last of Killmonger. I hope we get... I hope we let Michael B. Jordan's fun flag fly and we get to see him do more with it. Because the hints of difference of Killmonger in this from what we know of him before were fun. The confession of his mech design is absolutely Gundam Wing inspired because he's an anime fan.
Yeah.
Which in itself is a reference to the fact that in real life, Michael B. Jordan's a fucking huge weeb. He's a massive anime fan. People, of course, bringing back up the fact that Vegeta's costume from Dragon Ball is basically Killmonger's outfit in the movies. And it's like,
what's his kill count? It's over 9,000!
So...
Fucking love it.
Those little deviations...
Yeah.
I wanted more of that.
Yeah.
And we just
think that's a fair...
Just a conclusion. Just a scene where at the end he confronts T'Chaka and we realise... Like, have him play it sincerely throughout the whole episode.
Yeah.
And have circumstances kill T'Challa, Rhodey, Claw even, Tony Stark. Really fool us that this Killmonger 8 years prior isn't the vicious guy we know because it's at a different point in his perspective. And he just wants an in to Wakanda.
Yeah.
That's what he wants. So we can get there and have it be so it looks like what he's going to do is basically just go, I don't know what happened to my dad. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? And then last minute have a scene where it's like, thank you, you've saved us from this weird invasion, this, that, and he fucking kills T'Chaka. And
I was waiting for that.
Do you know what I mean? And have it be like, oh shit, no, he's always been this. He's the one we know from the movie. He was always this.
Yeah.
Just this younger in his lifetime, this other plan, he played it a completely different way. And then you reveal that he killed Tony. He killed T'Challa. He killed Rhodey. Do you know what I mean? Scooby-Doo it backwards.
Yeah.
Because at least then you'd be like, oh, we should have trusted our instincts, but you fooled us. They didn't. I'm holding off to see how this plays into the grand scheme of the series. Because have you noticed as well, like, The Watcher hasn't connected with any episodes physically since episode 4.
No.
But that's because we've not had any other characters since then that have been on that power level of
Although we do get
Strange
our best
Supreme.
look at him in this one.
Yes, so the way they've done it is visually,
Yeah.
we the viewers are seeing him more.
Yes.
Like talking to camera in the skyline and things like that. I'm still willing to let it play out.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to see where it goes, but I just think this was a particular dip.
Yeah.
I just think
We've had two duds. And this one was pretty duddy.
Yeah, it was dull.
Yeah.
It was kind of boring. I didn't think it did anything interesting with the concept. I don't think the concept was that interesting to begin with. So yeah, it just failed on every level for me.
Yeah, but to make things completely better, almost as if she knew you were in distress, Minnie ran into the room.
She literally ran into the room and started climbing on my leg.
And jumped into your arms. So I'll post that on the Instagram after the episode's gone out, onto the Twitter after the episode's gone out.
Scoop her up.
Minnie knew. She was like, Big Papa Matthew, Big Dan Mayhew,
Big Papa Pump,
Mr. Irresistible.
To WCW days.
Mr. Irresistible is in distress. That episode has pissed him off. I'm going to come give him a cuddle.
I'm not in distress anymore, thank you, Minnie.
That, or she really enjoyed the episode and is playing on your allergies.
I'm not allergic to this little one.
Oh my god, she looks so happy in your arms.
Don't they all?
Her little feet are twitching. Were your little feet twitching, boys and girls? Did you like episode 6 of What If? Before next week, we want emails from folks who've watched the What If series so far and have had different thoughts to us.
So that's by the Tuesday before after this comes out.
Yeah, so if you can get them in next few days, bigdamcontact@gmail.com, or tweet them to us if you want to do it short form at BigDamCast, because
you've got till 6 PM on the 28th of September.
Damn right, sirs. Because here be the thing. We both pretty much like number 1.
Yeah.
We both pretty much like number 2.
Yeah, it's alright.
We both enjoyed number 3 for the most part. Again, different levels of enjoyment. I think you've been a constant 5 out of 10.
Oh yeah, number 3's alright.
And I've been sort of like a 7, 8 out of 10. Number 4, I think we've both fucking loved.
Yeah, that's the highlight so far.
And then the last 2 we've been really disappointed by.
Yeah, really disappointed.
Do you guys feel different? Are we sourpusses? Or do you agree?
Yeah, are we missing something? What are we missing?
BigDamContact@gmail.com. Again, you can tweet us at BigDamCast. You can throw us a few shekels. And hey, the more people help out on the Patreon, the more incentive we're going to have in terms of our busy lives to
Yeah.
get some new commentaries
I'd
together.
love to do that.
Because we want to make sure that everyone on there right now is getting a lovely little community bit of bullshit nonsense in the Discord, and we're having a laugh in the Discord. But let's get the commentaries going. Let's know that y'all want some more commentaries. Go and throw us a few shekels. It's a couple quid at most. Patreon.com/bigdamncast. And you, of course, can watch Matthew streaming his dirty little heart out, Danteing it up a tree, or Yakuza-ing it like you read about.
Yeah, it's the Yakuza now, baby.
On Sundays, twitch.tv/bigdamnstream. But until next week, we will leave you with this lovely bit of yes and improvisation. Hello, sir. Is this the home for wayward children?
Yes. And?
Could I purchase one for my dinner?
Yes. And?
I would like to have one for dessert. Do you have a small child made of pudding?
Yes. And?
Fuck, we need Wayne Brady.
Uh,
God damn it.